Hello friends, welcome to a new video. It's been a hot minute since I have posted on the channel or worked for anything about the channel, to be honest. The last thing that I've posted was my May plan with me, which took a hot minute in itself, to be honest. Even though it was filmed and edited in advance, it just took some time to get it ready and up. And I think at this point, at the time of filming this, I haven't posted May and Project B. Actually, at the time of me filming this, I haven't even started editing that yet. May has been hectic. Too many things happened in May, and I haven't had the time, to be completely honest. It's a miracle in itself that I managed to set up June entirely, or at all. So that is the topic of today's video. I managed to set up June yesterday. I went with a simpler theme, or a simpler approach to the theme. I did one illustration, everything else was use of color, washi tape, stickers and such, but it turned out really beautiful and I'm really happy with it. Because I was on a little bit of a time crunch and because I was so burnt out from everything, I didn't want to film it. So I wanted to, max out the therapy that I would get out of setting up my bujo, so I didn't film it. But that is what we're gonna do today. Talk about the spreads, what I used to create the spreads, the thought process, and also give you an update on my life and everything that happened in May and why I was so busy. Alrighty, so let's start with taking a look at the cover page. So as you can see, I went with a very purple theme. Purple is the main color scheme and the main theme of this month, with a hummingbird theme, I guess. So the hummingbird is the main concept of this month's theme, with the pressed dried flowers, the bubble letters, the shimmer drip, and also the hexagon and such, the script washi details, and yeah, that's it. So these flowers I got in February actually. So on the 13th of February I got my family members some flowers. For myself, I got a white Casablanca and I offsetted it with these purple flowers, and I really liked the deep purple, so I ended up pressing some and drying them in one of my journals, and I really liked the idea of using them in my journal. So I knew that it would be really nice if I used it in my hummingbird theme, in this exact idea. So that is what I did. I knew that I was going to draw or potentially print the hummingbird, but I decided to draw it. I wasn't going to make the hummingbird purple, but I ended up just making everything purple. I'm not sure what flower it is, but it is a beautiful flower. The hummingbird, I just want to highlight the shimmer that I used for the hummingbird. But I wanted it to look as if the hummingbird is, sucking up nectar from the flower that I glued, if that makes sense. And then I had recently purchased this beautiful script washi. I finally found one that I really liked the font of. So I used it on all of the spreads because I actually did all of the spreads first and then the cover page last. So I used this washi tape on all of the other spreads, so I wanted to use it here as well. So I put it beneath the flowers, and then The main color that I used here was this acrylic brush pen with the size 304 from the Monet Purple set. So this one is, I would say it is a cool purple color. So I swatched a few purples at the back of my journal, these 3 purples in particular, and you know, I put a sprig of the flowers against these purples, and I liked this one the most, which is the 304. So I used it here and on all of the other spreads, and I used it on the bird as well. So the shadows, the cooler purple is the 304, and it is the one on here as well. And then the bubble letters, it is a pack that I bought from a local store. I thought since I'm using raised elements, it was gonna you know, fit the style well, and it also made it easier to add the headers and such. I'm gonna show you if I can grab it. So it came in this, I bought 2 packs so that I would have duplicate letters, but I still ended up not having enough letters. But basically it came in 3 colors, a purple, a periwinkle, and a white, and I ended up actually using the 3 because I didn't have enough letters of each color, and I bought 2 that one time. I wish I bought more. I remember buying 3, but I couldn't find the 3rd, so I must have just bought 2. And I probably could go back to the store, but I don't think I will find one. Local stores, it's a hit or miss, so I probably wouldn't find one. But I really like these stickers. I will probably use them again. Probably not, because I will not find all of the stickers that I need, and you will see in a second how I went around that roadblock, because I ran out of the T's, okay, and the F's, but we persevered, okay. But that is what I used for all of the headers. I did not write a single word except the letters, I guess, or not the letters, the numbers, such as here. But yes, I will put on the screen the image that I used for the hummingbird. I ended up saving 3 different images or sketches of the hummingbird, and lo and behold, when I went into my studio, turns out I saved the same exact one. So I went with that one, and I traced it here and used the acrylic brush pens. So because I used or I guess what I'm trying to say is, because I made all of the other spreads and then the cover page, I had a color scheme already in mind, and so I went with that for the hummingbird. So of course I had to use the 304, which is this purple. The other color I decided to match the other purple of the letters, which I decided to use this one, the 301, which is a lighter, or the lightest purple I had. And then I also used a white paint pen, since I also used white letters. So that was this was the 3 markers that I used for the hummingbird, and I really like how it turned out. However, I do have to mention that I also used this as paint, so I picked up the paint from the brush pen with a brush and used it as paint rather than going directly with the brush pen onto the paper, because that way I was able to have a smooth gradient in between the colors. That is my preferred method. I did have moments where I went directly with the marker onto the hummingbird or onto the page, and that left a blob. And so to rectify that, I went back with a lighter color or a different color to blend it and fix that error. I did outline it with the Unipen 05. This is a fresh marker, so it gave a smooth and punchy outline, and I used this fine liner for all of the black pin work in this theme. So here for the mini calendar, I did stuff up this mini calendar. The second row, somehow I wrote 07 and then went ahead and wrote 07 again and continued 07, 08, 09, 010, 011 before I noticed that I was doing it wrong. And so I tried to fix it with a white paint pen and it worked, but then I don't know what happened and I had to erase it, and so we have a little of smudging. And I tried to fix it with a white paint pen, but it didn't work. So it's not the neatest, but you know what, I will take it. Okay, so yeah, overall I'm really happy with how it turned out. It is exactly how I envisioned it with my head. As for the drip detail, I was working in my head how I wanted to bring this theme together, because I was building it as I go. And so I wanted to add hexagons. I pulled my tray of templates, because I have a lot of bullet journaling templates here. So I was looking through these, seeing if I have anything that I could use to add to this theme. I saw the hexagons and I thought it was a cute thing to add. So I pulled one that had hexagons that were small enough, this one, and so I added it in some of the spreads. At first I was gonna go with silver, but my favorite silver gel pen was running out. And then I also pulled out these. I have a lot of stencils with drip patterns, and I thought this could emulate nectar. So maybe I have my facts wrong and I'm pulling this out of my ass, but doesn't hummingbirds pull nectar out of flowers? So this could emulate the nectar, and it's purple flowers, so I made it purple. And I do have shimmer paints, and I do have purple shimmer paints, so I used this one to color the drip, and I added that detail to the other spreads as well, and that is how it came to be. So it is another detail that I wanted to add to the spread, and so I made the hexagons with shimmer purple paint as well. And so it is a very purple theme with various elements, but it comes together beautifully. And I love how I added the shimmer to the bird as well. It is my favorite thing to just have the light catch on to the shimmer and the hummingbird as well. I love it. You know what I should have done is went with the shimmer and the paint and just gone to the tips of the petals here and added that as well, so everything flickers when the light hits it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna take this moment to talk a little bit about what exactly happened in May and why I was so busy. So first of all, I started a new job, and that alone should tells you how busy I was. I basically had no time for anything else because it's an 8 to 4, so I wake up at 7 and I don't get home until 5, sometimes 5:30, and my bedtime is at 10. So I have basically 4 hours to eat if I have to shower, and de-stress, leisure time, anything else, basically no time at all. I've had some health issues that I'm trying to get to the bottom of during this time as well, so I haven't been having the best time with that, unfortunately. My brother have been getting engaged during this time, so there has been a lot of social events that I've been attending, after work and during the weekend. Of course, I'm trying to get to see my friends and hang out with them afterward. Also, there's a lot of good sales, so I'm doing a lot of shopping, and you know, I love shopping. It is one of my, I would say, hobbies, and one of the ways that I de-stress is by shopping. So I love doing that. I'm planning a trip for the summer, and so a lot of the shopping that I'm doing has to do with that. And there's also the fact that my sister's finals were during the first 2 weeks of May. So everything happened during May. Okay, so I was very, very, very busy. I basically had no time. So yeah, I didn't, to be completely honest, looking back at May, I didn't use my Bujo a lot during well, this is the failed weekly, so I didn't use it, but I didn't use my Bujo much. I used it to record rather than to plan. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I was still tutoring one of my students during the first 2 weeks of May, because he also had finals and his mother refused to, you know, end our agreement over just the last month, because she was like she was going to have difficulty finding a different tutor for him over such a short notice period. So I was starting a new job, tutoring my sister, also having work after my work, tutoring my student, also, you know, a lot of social events, not having the best time with my health, and then also, you know, being my brother's eldest sister and having to attend all of his social events and such. So yeah, busy time, busy time. It is why May was uploaded towards the end of the month, even though it was filmed towards the beginning of April and, you know, edited almost entirely during the beginning of April. It was only like the finishing touches, the voiceover and such, that was not filmed until later, because I was waiting on my new microphone. Let me know, how do you like the audio? I'm still iffy about it. I'm not using the microphone in this video. I'm filming because it is directly filmed through my phone's microphone directly, rather than via the editing software. But yes, the next few months will also be extremely hectic, so I'm not sure what the upload schedule will be, what will happen to project B, because May hasn't been edited yet. I'm not up to date with the filming of the next 6 months in project B. I mean, I filmed July, but I'm nowhere near finished with August, and I haven't started in September or all of the other months yet, so I'm not sure what will happen with that. My friend is cool with it. Spoiler alert, she isn't using the notebook, so it's just a fun project for me, so I'm not sure what will happen with that. But yeah, this channel in general is just a fun outlet for me, because I love bullet journaling and I love sharing it, and I love the process of filming and talking about my journal. So yeah, I'm not really sure what will happen to posting it, or like plan with me videos. It might be more geared towards walkthrough videos in the future, at least until I get into a routine, or until the hecticness, is that even a word, of my life settles a little bit. Anyway, back to the actual point of this video. Now we have my what is this? The calendar spread. I wanted a full page calendar so that I can write whatever I want. We have a Sunday through Saturday, and I also added an extra column, which obviously I forgot about that when I was numbering, and so I messed up the numbering of this calendar and I had to do 2 rows. But I couldn't figure out how I was going to position this calendar while also not adding anything extra to it, so I decided to make it into an 8 by 5 grid and have an extra calendar for health. This does not stand for hell, by the way, just health. So here I'm gonna brief my overall health in terms of headaches, nausea, vomiting, and some other symptoms as well. So we have a color block of the purple, and then the bubble letters, the white bubble letters, and then I used the washi tape along the edges and did this the drip pattern at the bottom, the purple drip along the bottom, and then with the Unipen fine liner did the entire grid. And of course we have some smudges. We cannot escape some mistakes. So here I ran out of the T, so I cut off the edge of the L, I think, or some letter, and stuck it, but it looks really awkward. So in some other pages I did not cut. I did some other fixes. So that is all I have to say for this spread. Next we have my monthly dashboard. Here we have also some pressed flowers. So very simple layout. I wanted just 4 sections for finance, work, lifestyle, and I left this one open. Usually it will be freelance, but since it will be summer, I didn't put anything here. I will probably have it be as something else, but I haven't decided yet, so I kept it open. Here I did the block of purple, and by the way I kept it neat is by using washi tape, and I think I went through 3 or 4 rolls of washi getting this theme finished. So I did the block of purple, did the drip with the purple as well, used the white bubble letters, the outlines with the black fine liner, used some washi tape, what is this called, script washi, and then some sprigs, wow, of the dried flowers. Very simple, ample space to write. Next we get to the weeklies. Nicely enough, the month starts on a Sunday and there are 4 weeks in June. So this one I went with this style. So each page, well, this is a spread. It has 2 pages and each page has a full week from Sunday to Saturday, and I just made it into, you know, boxes, I guess, because I wanted the bars and the open layout, so it all has the purple bar, if you will. So I made the purple bars with the brush pen, and then I used the purple letters Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday and Saturday. In the middle I did some ripped script washi, added the drip here, some hexagons, and replicated it here, except I ran out of the letter T, so what I did is I used a flipped letter L, basically. So that worked. I don't mind, honestly, so yeah. Then the other 2 weeks I really wanted to visit or revisit this layout. It is a classic of mine, one of my favorites, so I redid it. Basically separate each page into 6 or 7 sections. This time I did it into 6 because I couldn't figure out how to divide the dots into 7 equal sections. So we have Sunday through the weekend, but because I didn't have 2 W's or 2 M's, I went with Friday and Saturday instead of 1 letter for the weekend. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. But again, we have the purple banner, and then I used the bluish purple bubble letters, and again I ran out of the T's, so I used a flipped L, again with the script washi ripped edges and then some hexagons, no drips on this layout. Lastly, we get to the monthly review. So I did a banner on top and the bottom, wrote or stuck down letter stickers for June up top here using white letters, did a purple drip section here, added some white washi, script washi here with a piece of dried flower here, and then similar to the first style of weeklies, did the sections for my monthly review, which is highlights, challenges, memories, accomplished, favorites, and finances. But because I ran out of the letter F, what we have is beloveds, which is the favorite section. And if you remember in my February setup, I also used the title beloveds for my favorite section. And then instead of finances, I used the letter C, which should stand for cash flows. And then I added some hexagon details as well. But this actually concludes the setup for June. In its entirety, it is really cohesive, but really also simple. A lot of elements, but it only took one day to set it all up, a couple of hours, and it was all done. And very beautiful, very different than my usual style, but I'm really happy with it. Keep in mind that all of these raised elements will make it very difficult to write, especially with my usual writing pen, which is a fountain pen, which is usually difficult to write with. But for this month, it is the last month in this notebook, I will just use a different pen or just deal with it. But yes, hopefully I will not take a long hiatus from the channel. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.